Hi, I'm Isaac and you're watching Isaac's Bushcraft and Survival. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make 2 natural bug repellents. So let's get started. Okay, so the first bug repellent that we are making today is going to be a pretty simple one. We're just going to take wax and melt it down. Just going to get my stove going here. You take wax, melt it down, and then you mix in coffee grounds. And the reason why you mix in coffee grounds is because the coffee grounds contain caffeine and other chemicals that actually affect mosquitoes' ability to sense humans. So it makes them harder to sense us. So it basically interferes with their ability to sense us to get our blood, basically. So yeah, I'm gonna get this started. Hopefully it doesn't blow out. It's hard to see the flame. Yeah, it's hard to see the flame because methanol burns completely clear. It's kind of hot right now. But I'm just gonna put this over here. It's gonna help start melting the wax and heating it up. It should get started burning pretty soon here. But we're gonna melt it down and then we're gonna add our coffee grounds into it. So I'm gonna get this melted down and I'll be back when I get the coffee grounds ready to pour in. Okay, so we have our wax melted here. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add our coffee grounds to it, mix them in, and make sure we get them all mixed in good. Add more, mix in, add more. We're just gonna mix it in until it's pretty thick. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this cool and harden. And then what you can do is, now that you have the coffee grounds act as something that you can use to light this with, and then you can burn it. And then the smoke from that actually deters insects and other mosquitoes and other insects. So we're gonna stir this up, mix this all in. Then I'm going to let it sit and cool. And then I'm gonna break a chunk off, light it, and show you how it works. So I'll be back with you. Okay, so we have our wax and coffee grounds cooled down. So now it's just a hard block. And what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to ignite it and see if it burns. And it may or may not, I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, so it started burning. We'll see if it keeps burning. And the smoke from it burning acts as a natural bug repellent. So basically, I hope it doesn't blow out. So basically, as it burns, it creates smoke. And that smoke helps deter insects. I might have to light it, try lighting it again here. It went out. Let's let that sit here, see what goes on. Okay, so it's starting to burn, I think. It takes time, it's harder to get going. This might burn better if you add in, like, let's say sawdust or something like that. I'm gonna protect it from the wind here a little bit so it has a chance to get going. But this might work better if you add sawdust or something like that to help it burn better. But no, the smoke from it naturally acts as a deterrent for insects and other stuff like that, which is why this works. So yeah, it's just an amazing bug repellent. As you can tell, it's burning really well. So on to the next bug repellent. So the tree that I'm using today is Arborvitae. This is a plant that I'm going to be blending up. As you can probably tell from the noise around me, I'm in town here. That's because it's the most common backyard plant or backyard tree. So it's just a good one to use for this. You can also do this with other plants. You can use a mint, you could use catnip, you can use a lot of the other ones that I covered in my last video. But I got permission from the landowner, because this is not my tree, but I got his permission to be able to use it for our bug repellent today. Just be sure that if you do like need to get needles for something like this and it's in your neighbor's yard, just make sure you ask for permission beforehand, otherwise you could get in trouble. So yeah, we'll be using this for our bug repellent, and I'm just going to collect more leaves here, and I'll be back with you when we are ready to blend them up. Okay, so I collected our Arborvitae that we're going to be using for this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our blender here. We're going to take it and cut it up and put it inside our blender here. And the blender I'm using for this is actually called a Beast blender. It's a very, very good blender. It's very high quality. If you were to get a blender, I'd advise getting that one because it can eat through pretty much anything, because it has a 1,200 watt motor. And if there's any side noises, I apologize for that. I'm in town because obviously you need electricity to use a blender. But I'm going to put it in here. I don't know how much I'm going to add. It just depends on how strong you want it. The more you add, the stronger it'll be. The less you add, the less strength it'll be. And what we're going to add here is we're going to add canola oil. And you're probably wondering why we're adding canola oil. And it doesn't have to just be canola oil. You can use olive oil, you could use peanut oil, you could use any oil you want. But the reason we're using oil is because the chemicals in the plants evaporate really quickly if you use water. Because I've put these in here before and just put water in, and it works great as a bug repellent, but it only lasts for maybe 30 minutes compared to adding oil to where it can last maybe a couple hours even, depending, because the oil actually slows down the evaporation of the chemicals that are bug repellents in the plant. So that's why we're using oil instead of water. And if you don't want to have oil on you, I guess you could use water, but you just have to reapply more often. But I'm going to pour some in. And like I said, you can use any oil you pretty much want. It just depends on what you want to do there and how much you want to. Like I said, depends on how much you want to add, depends on how concentrated you want it, and how you want it to work. So I'm just going to attach our blade head here. Almost forgot to plug in the blender. Okay, so we got our stuff together with the blender. And I'm going to get ready to blend it. We're just gonna let that blend for about a minute. What we're gonna do in the middle of it is we're just gonna shake it up to make sure we got it all in there. Make sure it's all good. As you can see, it's getting pretty green. But when you open this, it's gonna really smell. Okay, so I had to move it to the shade because it's getting a little too hot. But the way that we're going to filter this out is we're going to take our cloth here. We're going to pour our mixture in, because as you can see, it looks like gel. you want to make sure that you're able to filter it, because I mean otherwise you get plant material all over yourself, and I mean I don't like plant material. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it, we're going to squeeze out the oil, and that has the Arbor Vitae oils in it, so it smells like the Arbor Vitae. It's a little hot, so I'm just going to let it drain like this. I might even add some catnip to this because it helps to just add some different chemicals that the insects hate. Because this is strong, I can smell it, but I think the tree that I used wasn't as strong smelling as others. Each tree kind of smells different. Some trees are super strong smelling, others are just, it just depends. Each tree smells different where it grows, I think, a little bit. Or some, what I mean is some trees are stronger, some trees are not as strong as far as smell goes. It just all depends on the soil and where you get your tree leaves from. But no, I can smell it. It's not nearly as strong as I'd like. I think, like I said, it's because I used a tree that didn't have as strong of smelling leaves as others. So I might just add some catnip or something to it. But I'm gonna let that drain. Once I get all that collected, I'll be back with you. Okay, so we have our oil finished here. Smells strongly like the smell of Arbor Vitae. What you do is you take a little bit of it, we're just gonna rub it on. And yes, the oil, I mean, I don't know, it depends on who you are if you like rubbing oil on or not. It's kind of almost like sunscreen, but it definitely smells like Arbor Vitae. It's a great bug repellent, like I said, and the oil helps keep it from evaporating, the chemicals in it from evaporating so quickly. So that's basically how you make a good bug repellent from a wild tree. So we'll see how, I might do a video in the future if I can find a spot that has a ton of mosquitoes. I'll show you how effectively it works. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.